Private. This is the War on Comics. I'm Colin.
I'm Omar.
Today we're looking at the best of the best, the best of the best that 2018 had to offer, according to two fucking eggheads.
Some of the best in the biz.
Yeah, we're gonna see if these eggheads got it right.
Some brainiacs out
Yeah,
here.
I think this is really fun. I've never read a Best American Comics anthology in total.
Nice.
So I think this is an interesting one to start with. I like where we're going with this. It'll be fun to crack into it. Hope you do as well. How do you feel about wearing Marvel shirts in the year of our Lord?
It feels a little
20.
funny. I mean, this one's definitely a Target buy, but we got it at Goodwill.
Yeah, I got like some classics.
Sick. Hell yeah.
And I feel a little Spencer's Giftsy. You know what I'm saying?
I think if they're classics, though, I mean, this I got because it's got fucking.
Yeah, who's doing that? Who's the artist? Then?
This is a lot of aping of Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
This was like in the probably like Copper era.
Okay.
We got Black Captain America here.
All right.
I mean, it's just one of those funky ones.
But the not the shirt itself. It was a good shirt. I think the feeling of wearing the shirt.
Oh, it feels okay. I might be like a self-hating Marvel guy.
Yeah.
You know?
But
it does feel weird walking around when there's guys that I see Venom shirts that are straight up.
The Venom one is tough. That's a different guy. I do not lift weights for that. Yeah. It's been way too long since I've yelled at a domestic partner. I don't think I can wear a Venom shirt.
I don't have those rage issues.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like a poser. You know? I'm not of their culture.
What about how the Punisher?
That's the hardest mode.
Yeah, we probably should.
Hardest mode. When I was a kid, man, I had the graphics. I think with just the skull, the glow in the dark skull, the puffy pink skull. Wore that fucking thing into the ground. You know how difficult it is to wear a Punisher skull tee in earnest in the year of our Lord 2025.
That was some heavy cotton as well before.
Yeah. I got like some classic prints. I got like some Mike Zack art, yada yada.
Dude.
But it's weird wearing it out. I just feel a little Spencer's Giftsy.
And I mean, I don't know if anyone out here is really gonna know Mike Zack.
Yeah, you're right.
So
if you got the confidence to pull it off, I respect it. That was our 20 minutes on shirt. That's all we're going to talk about today. Thanks for watching. Let's look at the best comics in the world ever of 2018. Let's take a look.
We'll do a little flip in. Sick.
All right. So I've never read one of these before.
Yeah.
Best American Comics. They're always like staring at me from the libraries and comic shops. And I peruse them. And it's like, oh, I read that. Okay, never mind. I'm going to put this back. Gotta not read them. Why do you have this?
So I got this at a comic book fair in San Diego. It was outside of the Comic Con.
Like recently, or
no? This was in the era.
Okay.
Around this time, I had worked at the Comic Con as like a little. I was telling people where the bathrooms were.
Yes.
And I think that's called the usher.
Gremlin, I think, is the technical term. Little Comic Con gremlin.
Yeah. We were out there telling people where to take a shit. And I came across this book, and I think it was at these guys had a booth. And I hadn't read comics in a while that were not outside of the big two.
Yeah.
And I picked this up to share with you because Phoebe Gloeckner was a name that I had for some reason. It was in my mind when we read her book, and I didn't know from where. And it was this book that got me back into indie comics and art.
So this is a significant book. This is a canon event for you.
It is.
I love it. And Phoebe Gloeckner was there in the cut
from the beginning.
So this is. I read all the forwards to it, and I thought this was really. I didn't know how the mechanics, I guess, of these compendiums work. Mm-hmm. But essentially, this fella, Bill Cartalopoulos, he gets everything. He filters it out, and he passes on to a guest editor who changes up every year. And he's like, you might like these ones. Yeah. And then the guest editor filters them again. So these are double filtrated comics, and then the one that they like wind up here. So man, what a job that. On one hand, it's like if you're a child, you're like, that's a dream. You get to read so many comics. When you think about the bullshit that has
imagine.
Someone is sending this guy like Naruto fanfic,
Sure.
like just
expecting to be featured.
Yeah, the fucking weird like Johnny Ryan knockoff, like just swastikas drawn in shit, just veiled to his fucking dad.
Or just some over intellectualized kind of bullshit from the art crowd.
Yeah. So, and I think it's kind of a perfect system to have a second opinion.
Yeah.
And have that second opinion rotate so that you don't get caught in the, have your tastes be too biased. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's from reading Child's Life. I feel like I have an understanding of who Phoebe Gloeckner is through her work. So I'm kind of like have latched. I guess while I was reading this, I was thinking more how
like that filter.
Yeah, like what made this appealing to you, the curator, and like why do each of these stories stand out? And there is I would say, like every story, I would say, oh yeah, I could see why one would pick this, particularly these two ones. And I think the experience overall reading the book is very inspiring. I think while you're reading these, if you've never read one of these, I've never read one of these before. So my pitch to you is like, you will be inspired in the sense that there's all these different styles, all these different approaches. There's some most of these comics I really did not like at all. And there's like, but they exist and they made it into this book. So it's like, that is inspiring because you're like, my kid could draw that, whatever fucking throwaway line.
Some of them, I think, are probably the ones I also didn't click with, are like the too obtuse kind of thing.
Yeah,
like
there's, and I guess how these comics are presented, it'll also teach you a lot about your tastes.
Yes,
and like why, oh wow, I really hate all of these, and they all have this in common, and I really like all these, and they all have these in common. So weirdly, even though I'm kind of shitting on like 75% of the book, I would say the experience is very elucidating.
Yeah.
On what is going to speak for you. It is a very good poo-poo platter of.
I was gonna say it's like a Lunchable,
right?
Where you don't, I forget which Lunchable it was. It was like,
you got Lunchable takes?
dude, around. Oh, dude, I got some huge Lunchable takes.
I'm fucking listening. I'm all ears.
I used to take the pizza Lunchable, trade a little bit of the nacho cheese with my buddy.
Okay.
And put that on the bread and all that kind of shit. But it's like, sometimes you don't get, if we're using that analogy,
yes,
the nice chips that you want in that Lunchable,
And my mom was I think in my mind I say she was too much of a hippie. Like, it would be like, no, you're eating, a sandwich and like natural. Oh, the sandwich on, sprouted wheat. Like I'm eating, like I'm brown bagging it and I'm eating good food. I think in reality we were just poor. So
it probably saved you from a lot of rock gut
Lunchables were off the menu. And, we didn't have like soda at home. She wouldn't let me eat sugary cereal, blah, 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 blah. All these kind of, now looking back, pretty good things to do for a kid. I had this real white trash friend in high school, like pure grade, like platonic ideal white trash. His parents, I talk about this all the time. I'm going to run this story into the ground because it's all too common to me. Like his parents collected cigarette shit, like memorabilia, like the points, like Marlboro points, and you would get shit. So they had this shrine of Marlboro when you walk in the door. But then they stopped smoking, but they still wanted to get to collect.
Yeah.
So, because you're supposed to stop smoking. I don't know if you guys have heard this, but smoking is actually like really, really unhealthy.
In this year, 2025.
So they would like still go to like convenience stores and try to get like standees and shit. Anyways, this fat fuck was the only person I ever knew who, like, he had Lunchables in the fridge and would eat Lunchables at home.
Yeah.
Which Like I could
That's
not
ridiculous. Yeah.
wrap my mind around.
That's such a waste.
This is the last thing I'll say before we get started. We watched we would just stay up and watch TV as boys do, and we watched the on MTV one day they aired the ICP, the Insane Clown Posse shockumentary, and they even prefaced they were like, listen, anyone can buy airtime and air whatever they want. This is what they chose to air. MTV doesn't endorse this. Basically, this is like an infomercial. We're not co-signing this. They paid for this. That was the bumper that ran at the beginning of every commercial of the shockumentary. Wow. And then have you ever seen the shockumentary?
Yes.
Classic, right?
Yes.
You know, ICP. Yeah, classic. And so we're watching this in fascination. It's still, to me, one of the, it's like Harmony Korine shit. Like you can just...
Oh, absolutely. For sure.
Yeah, you can. It still holds up as a, this fascinating
underbelly
cultural
of the
document.
South.
And so me and my buddy were morbidly fascinated, and we're with him, and it was like the three of us hanging out. Me and my buddy are like, this is the most psychotic shit I've ever seen. And this is our introduction. We've never heard of Insane Clown Posse. We've not been on the internet.
This was the first dose.
We're talking like 1998. Like it's AOL chat room. Like
hadn't even heard of Fago.
Yeah, of course. No, it's all fresh. We're from San Diego. We are fucking Blink 182, ska, Buck 09, Sublime country, baby. Go bring that Juggalo shit around here.
Burritos from Anita's.
Yeah, straight up. Like that's not what we were into necessarily, but that was the culture.
That's the SoCal.
Yeah. And so this guy's watching it, and we're all me and my buddy were just like, what the fuck is this? This is hilarious, obviously, but it is so. These are the biggest fucking losers we've ever seen. We're losers too. We're in high school now. We wouldn't be as judgy, but
But you're seeing this in high school.
Yes,
and you're like,
fresh.
What the fuck is this?
No context. It's fucking shoved in our face. And my white trash friend who eats the Lunchables at home goes, yeah, I mean, the music's sick, but like, I don't know what these fans are about. And we're just like, no, the music actually really fucking sucks. It's like some of the worst music I've ever heard in my life.
Oh,
he goes, I don't know. I kind of like it. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Like the next day, like the next time we see him, fucking hockey jersey, buys the great Malenko. And we're like punk rock kids and everything. Yeah. And he's like, you would like this stuff. Like they're talking about like social issues the same way like hardcore music is. Like these guys, these racist guys, they go into the Hall of Illusions and they're fucking hacked up. Like it's sick.
Holy fucking shit, dude.
It was so... I cherish this memory. Not to talk shit on this guy or anything. I have no like animosity. It's not like fuck him. I'm just saying this like, it is amazing that white trash is like a gene. Like it calls to you.
It called him, yeah.
Like
it was called.
Like again, we're coming into this. I'm listening to fucking like Crass and like fucking like old straight edge hardcore bands. Like I'm neck deep in this stuff. I'm very aware of like politics and all this kind of shit. And I can watch the Insane Clown Posse, and I'm like showing this stuff to my friends. I'm like, this shit's cool. Huh? They're like, yeah, it's cool. I like it. And even with this foundation in mind, like, hey, you can go to shows and we can,
and check this
be
out.
into underground stuff. It's just like okay, yeah, this is cool, all right. And then you get that fucking hit, and you're just fucking off to the races.
He rode the lightning,
bro.
Right
the
there,
Juggalo life just chooses you, and that's what I think about Lunchables. So it's this first story here. This is pure Gloeckner, tragic, fucking miserable childhood shit. I never read it. How many of these have you read?
So I've only read this once all the way through.
No, I mean the full story. Like, you didn't track any of these down?
I think the only ones I tracked down were like the sci-fi.
Okay.
It's I don't think I had the emotional depth at all to like look for these stories back then because all this shit is so fucked, man.
In a way, I feel like it's kind of again, as much as I was saying celebrating this format, it's kind of a bad way to read comics because it's like you're just getting a couple pages, and I know that's the point. It's like supposed to entice you or turn you on or turn you off, but it's like, man, it's so like unfair in a way.
Yeah. Oh, this was a great one actually.
This is the kind of shit I just kind of tune out.
Like this?
Yeah.
Like almost just poster art?
Right. And I understand, like, when you see it, when you're seeing the great mass of bullshit, something like this, it's maybe a little outside of comics. Because that's the other thing. I don't think Gloeckner is like a going to cons and like putting out monthly titles. She's not like, she's a, what do they call it? Academic type. I'm sure the editor is as well. Like, they're not like they don't have strong opinions about the Punisher. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They're not, they didn't go in those kind of fields. So when they see something like this that's so outsider,
I think that's such, they're like artsy kind of notions. Like that's what I meant with, because this stuff also, I love like her art in general. I love outsider art, and outsider music and everything, but I do not think this can be categorized as comics.
Right.
And I mean, comics can be anything, whatever you want.
Yes.
But in terms of traditional, or like what we see as like the comic craft form, this is used as like comics is very light.
Right.
It's like the storytelling that I think we usually would go for. There's story here, but it's more of like postmodern comics or something like that.
I mean, you know, it's not, again, it's like it's creativity. It's expensive. I don't like the style. I think it looks good. I understand what's happening. It's
painted
fun.
Stuff.
But I also kind of, maybe it's like I don't connect with it. And so it's like, yeah, it's cool. I get why it's in here. I'm not going to argue against this being like quality work or like, stop making this. Like, no, make it. It's cool. Yeah. But it's like, I don't think it's comics for like comics people.
You're hanging this at a gallery.
Yeah, this is like zine shit. And I say that very derogatorily. And this is some comics here, but I think this one was also kind of, I think it's some kind of trans issue going on here. It's because it's like this gal and you're following her and she's very desired, and then she goes to this guy who she has a crush on. I think the guy she has a crush on is maybe the guy she wants to be, or something like that.
Starts downloading his style.
And this is to me again though, this is where the real weakness of these come in, because like I could get into this in a longer form if I saw where it was going, but reading like 7 pages of it or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I do not care. But the art's good. Yeah, it's fine. I am not dismissing the possibility that this is a really good graphic novel or something, but based on this, there's nothing really for me there. And then this is like way too much of me. Like, this is the easiest underhanded pitch. I would read 500 pages of this without blinking.
Yeah, this was such a 90s.
Yeah, this is just my life portrayed. So it's like, of course, and it's crudely drawn. And I think this is my idea of like comics for people who like comics. This is outside of zine stuff. There's jokes. There's not. The craft is like, I don't know. You're doing a lot of crude humor. You're doing like simple memoir stuff. Your art is matching it. That's kind of where the craft is. Not necessarily technically well crafted, but like having a very cohesive story.
Yeah.
I don't think you can write a story like this without a lot of comic stuff in your DNA.
Like having actually read he's literally doing.
Yeah, he's drawing. There's comics within comics.
Johnny got his gun, like all that kind of stuff. I mean, it is like the Nexus shirt. That's
packing every
ridiculous.
Square inch with some reference to something.
I mean, there is. See, this is a comics nerd.
Yes,
that has internalized the medium, and like, I mean, fuck, man. It is one of those where I start feeling weird because who am I to tell a person that wants to make comics that they're doing it wrong?
Right.
So, but see, I want to tell people they're fucking it up. It's like, okay, yeah, sure, you did the trick. Right. Like, but you didn't really do comics.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Again, this is very, very easy and very palatable to me. I just feel bad when something is so palatable and so easy. It's like eating cotton candy, you know? It's like, yeah, you're going to tell me a story about being a weirdo in the 90s who's into alternative comics and heavy metal music. And it's like, yeah, I'm going to connect to that. And then I connected to it. I liked it. Again, I could read 10,000 pages of that, but I don't know that it would like do me any good because it's just like it's too close to home, brother.
I see what you mean. Like it is like those just like King of the Hill like episodes, you know,
Right.
like it's just stuff that happens in life. What is that called?
Autobio.
Autobio, yeah.
And yeah, that's. I mean, I'm a mark for that stuff. That's sort of like was my gateway to alternative comics. I'm always going to read whatever stupid bullshit happened to you as a outsider boy when you make it in comic form. Like, yeah, real easy pitch for me. I would say that was an enjoy. This shit I hated, man.
Jeff, dude, when I saw this, I knew about Big Guy and Rusty.
Yes.
And I think I showed you those issues.
Yes.
And I knew about the TV show. I think when I had first read Shaolin Cowboy, and it was first coming out, that's exactly what I felt.
It is what it is. I like drawing stuff. This to me is like Guitar Center music. This is like a guy that does something technically really well. Yeah. And it's sort of a larger philosophy I have on the medium. And it's something I run into, unfortunately, a lot. I mean, the cartoonist kayfabe guys talked about it when they talked about like art versus writing, right? And of course, we know that it's art and writing. It's not a versus thing. And this was the problem I ran into rereading the Max recently, where it's like Sam Keith is obviously like arguably the GOAT.
God tier.
But he can't fucking write to save his life. And so when he has another writer, he's doing great. But when he has to do, because comics are a visual medium, like yes, an artist can make a comic without a writer, but a writer can't make a comic without an illustrator. So by that logic, the illustrator is like, should be getting kind of all the flowers. But this is exactly what happens when someone who has all the ability in the world to draw. Like obviously, this is from every technical perspective the best art in this whole book, but it's boring as shit. This is a problem. Like I talked to a tattoo artist buddy of mine. He's like, yeah, if you let tattoo artists just draw the shit they want, they're just going to draw anchors and Sailor Jerry shit and skulls and snakes and swords and girls looking sideways. And like, because that's what they like to draw. And there's like, that's what's comfortable to draw. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's like the foundation of the medium, etc. So when you let a comic artist have no confines of story, it's like
something like this.
Yeah, which is just fucking jerk off shit. To me, it's just all flash. And that kind of goes back to what I was saying about, this book being kind of, I don't know, a litmus test for your own tastes. Like you learn about what you like reading this many good, high quality comics in one place. You're like, oh, this is perfect art. I don't like this. Versus the last guy who's just literally scribbling doodles.
I was going to say you can juxtapose it right there.
Yes, and I'm like, I'll read 100 pages. I'll read a fucking 100 issues of this. This is my shit forever. And I don't want to read 10 pages of that. I will put that back down. It's
so much visual. Well, it is like some rock god, like you're saying, just noodling.
Yeah, no song.
No song.
No melodies. No catchiness. No human element to it.
Because this is what absolute power looks like.
Left unchecked.
Left unchecked
100%.
And I mean, you see, I love Jeff Darrow, and I love.
Oh, it's amazing art. No one's crazy. It.
Yeah.
Do you want to read this?
No.
I couldn't get through fucking 5 pages of this nonsense.
This did not. So I really like visually. I could go through it.
Of course.
But text wise, and this whole section was just.
Yeah, there's nothing, because it's just art that artists want to draw. And again, that's like most of those early Image comics. You look at Trencher and you're like, holy shit, this looks amazing.
So sick.
And then you start reading Trencher and you're like, I want to fucking die. This sucks.
Did I just lose IQ?
Absolutely, 100%. I know I have read some guy Delis.
Delis.
His stuff. I think it's kind of like memoir stuff. There's Nick Mullen from Come Town hanging out. There's yeah, I read some other books of his, and they're all that kind of like I went to a place and here's what happened. Like a journal. What do they call it? Like
Gonzo or something.
Yeah, maybe that's it, or like on the streets journalism.
Or
whatever it is.
Yeah, like on the ground level.
Yes, and so he's yeah, his books are good for that. I never really connect with the stuff, but you could totally understand why it's.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
And again, very much so suffers from this excerpt format because he tells his books are long, and you get into the pacing and you get into them, but when it's sandwiched between pig monsters and like doodles, it's like I can't. It's not doing him any favors, I don't think.
Yeah,
being featured in that.
These like little excerpts, like they kind of just do help to give you a taste. And do you think that the editors themselves pick the small section, like a section that could work for the book, or are they kind of like? So there's like that concept of editorializing things too much. And now that I'm looking back at it, I've read some of these comics after, like not because of this really, actually. It's just I've seen them around, and it probably because I got familiar from this. But reading this, not one of them really made me want to go to the comic shop and buy it.
Yeah, I there was a couple ones that hit for sure for me in here, but yeah, it's. I think the editors. I think this is like a really great idea, right? It's a very awesome idea that they want to do, and I think they are rooting for the zine makers and the underground people, and just anyone who has a voice. These are the people who put this together. You could tell love comics and want everyone to read good comics. And they read this comic and they're like, fuck, this is great. I need more people to read it. And they're like, well, I guess we'll find some pages that'll hook someone, or that show the art. It's a very difficult task because you wouldn't say, well, don't, you read an amazing book. It's like we talk about these Cerebus comics that we're reading through right now all the time. And it's like, what do you do with 5 pages of Cerebus? You have to read 300 goddamn issues for any of it to connect.
It won't land. It would be impossible for it to land.
But if you were like put a sampler of some of your favorite comics together or a starter pack, like of course I would put some of that. I don't know that it would hit, and I don't even know. I don't have like a pitch of like what I would select from it. And it's why I think, I don't know, personally, I think it's why I've been like kind of so bullheaded and insistent on reading it, because I think it is a great experience in comics, but it's telling someone they have to read 300 fucking comics. It's telling someone they have to read a whole graphic novel, which is maybe, this is a difficult task is what I'm trying to say, to pick 5 pages from a story or X amount of pages.
Yeah.
But I know what they're trying to do, which is like push good stuff and celebrate good stuff.
These are hit clips, if you will.
But I don't know that just the nature of the medium, if this is effective for that.
The book that we read, dude, we can keep on scooting. Okay. But the book,
I like this, but this is nonsense.
Johnny Rotten worship.
No, not so much. This is whatever it is. It's fine. I get it. I love this. Now, how do you get those screens? Is this that kind of paper that you have to like erase to get the?
So the screen tones, he definitely either.
Those are great.
I mean, the textures and everything on here, they're either all penciled in. That's pasted down and scratched off. Those little lines.
Yeah, there's that kind of paper that you can kind of like brush over, and then the dots show up on. But there's not so many dots. That's what the old Ninja Turtle comics are, I don't feel like there's that many dots. I'm a fucking mark for screen tone at this point. I'm like,
for sure.
I never get to play with it or anything, but every time I see it, my eyes just get wide.
Man, the colors. That's how the most saturated comics, like with those tones and screens, and that like that feeling is. I mean, they call it like the comic book like effect if you ever get the filter on your phone or whatever.
Oh yeah, all the dots and everything.
Dots.
That was nonsense. This is pure nonsense.
This is like a lot of art, a lot of like art forward.
Yeah,
I would say,
and I mean,
I wouldn't call them avant-garde comics at all. Like
maybe this reads better. Yeah, this is. I get it. Cool.
Yeah.
This obviously looks really good.
But do you? Okay, so what I dig this as like emotional.
Right.
This is a very emotionally like evocative story, and a lot of them I feel the same way. They're like work on an emotional level if I'm just skimming through. But that element of storytelling, like I don't know if I feel the comics element or if like
it's like I'm not going to tell someone don't do this.
Yeah,
you know, like if you're gonna do it.
The thing is, if you're gonna put best American comics on there, is that what's going on?
Right, but when you read, when you've read your 1000th zine, that's like some dude talking about like chicks he's banged.
Yeah.
You know, and then something like this comes along, and it's like, oh, this is different. You know, when you've just read so much junk, or not even junk, but so much similar, you know, Adrian Tomine knockoffs.
There you go.
Which is, I'm sure you're just getting flooded with, or like, you know, whatever genre fiction.
You know, they have art school programs where they help you submit works to these kind of things, and not to degrade them or anything like that, but I think there is more comics. There was more comics being made at this time. This was like during the first run of social media stuff, like 2018
and pre-COVID, which I think is an interesting demarcation.
That's true. There's a lot like, I mean, there's a lot more comic shops back then too. So I just think there was a lot of work being done around this era, and it's just interesting to see what they picked. Again, looking back,
you know, is like I understand. I get it. I get it, and you know what? I'm not even mad at it because like this is better comics than I would. I guess I shouldn't say that. You know, I would probably have more. I was going to talk shit on, you know, the new brand of Image Comics where it's all just like, you know, pitches for Amazon Prime shows. You know, like obviously that's like one of the grossest trends in comics right now. Yeah. And on one hand, I would say that I'd rather read this than that. But when you read whatever those comics are, I pick them up from the library from time to time, like 6-issue collections, and it's like, yeah, this is very obviously a pitch for a miniseries, but it's also like, you can throw on some Netflix-ass bullshit in the background. That's what it's for, second screen entertainment. So, like, maybe I would rather read that than this. This one, this is
You've told me about this, I think.
I've read this fucking book, but reading this story, it's like, did I read this book? Because none of this was familiar to me.
Dude, this is so fucking rad.
It's great. Yeah, and there's the second volume, too, which I haven't read, which I want to get into. And it's so horrifying. They're talking about, you know, selling little girls and stuff. So it's like, how could I just forget about this if I read it? But I'm certain I read it. If you'd asked me if I read it, I would say I read it. I have this moment kind of pinned here because I think this is so good.
Oh man,
this is a very celebrated book, I feel. So it's not like, oh man, they really dug deep on this. But again, it's like they can't not include this story in here. And I think this excerpt is really good. This makes me want to. I got to go to the library and get this one again. So she's telling this girl the story of Medusa, and you know, I guess the bigger part of it is that they're kind of dissecting it and saying like, wait, this guy goes into Medusa's place and cuts her head off. Medusa has all the power. She's the hero. It's a fine observation in itself, but like the way it's told, like this to me is so emotive. Like she's kind of giving her pushback on the story. Like, wait, she tells her Trinfield story, and she's like, yes, listen, that hand gesture. This is comics to me. This is like big exclamation point comics, and like, you know, retelling the story. You're just showing these girls in bed with each other, but like all this kind of pencil mark thing and using a different medium. This is peak visual graphic storytelling. I can't say.
It really is
great things, and having the page spread like this. I don't know about the spiral note bound gimmick. I don't think it needs.
It doesn't add too much, like even just having that. But
yeah, it doesn't take away anything.
This whole part,
amazing.
These sequences of just like the movement. This is like what I guess I would say is the whatever the golden ratio that is happening right here.
Yes.
It's like it's fitting. It's not overdrawn or like just fucking wanking off. Like this is a heart wrenching and just like heartwarming story at the same time. Like
this the way they're telling it is all very purposeful. It's I can't. This is just immediate. Yeah, you want to talk about things that make you want to get a book. Go check it out. It's like in excerpt form, in any form. This is like that's really good. That was one of the highlights to me. Yeah, Casanova Frankenstein. I feel like I know that name. I wonder if I've read anything else from him. But
that was a. Oh, actually, that's a great. I wanted to make the comparison earlier to the other book we read. That was the anthology of the Marvel works from indie artists.
Yes.
This guy was in there.
Okay.
He kind of reminds me of like if Daniel Johnston didn't do acid.
Yeah, for sure. There's like there's certain images he uses that are very evocative about like quote unquote like outsider TM copyright style.
Outsider core.
Yeah, I kind of didn't love it. The story in terms of just like I don't know. I'm a zine hater. I don't know what to say. Everyone want to talk shit on something. It's like, what is this, a fucking zine or something?
Is this a zine? The zine scene.
I'm sure you're going to be huge in your zines. This one I liked. I thought this was really fun. This is just like, basic, like, the internet exists.
This was a sweet spot for me for internet comics.
Yeah, well, you're a little vaporwave freak.
Oh, man. I fucking love this shit.
This is very much so that style, right?
And in that, like that.
Spending all this time customizing your character in the game.
This was, to me, this was like, oh, yeah, this is like, man, this is exactly what's going on in the world.
Right,
like, bullshit.
It's addressing, I think I like stories like this because it's like, you have to kind of, like, how do you acknowledge that we live in a world with all this shit?
Yeah.
I find that with movies a lot, too. It's like, takes place in the 80s. Why? Because if you could text each other, this whole story falls apart.
Fucked up. Yeah.
Like you just don't, as a writer, know how to put in enough ways to like take phone out as a plot device.
It would ruin so many of the like classics.
Yeah, and so new movies come out that are just take place in the 70s and 80s for no reason other than you didn't feel like figuring out the mechanics of a phone, and how to play that into a story. So when I read a story like this that is all in on modern internet culture, modern technology, I'm like, there's funny little bits, funny gags. Yeah. It's like the tone is right. I'm like, this person really understands what, the modern world we're living in.
Yeah. It is like the 4-panel traditional Nancy style.
For sure, little bits at the end, gags, spoofs. But again, I don't know if I'm purchasing a book like this and revisiting it. It's more just like more of a respect than a deep connection.
Like these were a lot of fun when they were coming out weekly.
Okay.
And I would read them. I did. I'm gonna out myself. I was into Vice.
Okay.
Back in the day.
Yeah, that seems like the right medium for that. This is where I know I'm an asshole because this was like probably the story I liked the most. And just look at this, just fucking people in a goddamn room talking to each other. She's sort of learning this guy's story. He got like detained as a.
This was such a sick fucking story, though.
Again, this is 2018, folks, not 2025. But yeah, basically, he got detained by whoever deports people, and had his citizenship kind of fucked with and revoked because he had talked to a guy who had ties with, terrorism or something.
A national security. He fit the profile of like some guy they were looking for too.
And so it's just a journalist writing that story. And I don't know. I'm a mark for journalist stories. I have no idea why.
Yeah.
I have no like real. I used to hate journalists because you're supposed to, But now that we live in a world without them, I'm like, oh fuck.
I mean,
we kind of needed. We needed, I don't even know if we needed journalists necessarily, but you need someone to be like, if I'm going to tell you something, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
There is financial damage to be accrued to me and my organization. Like I could get fired for saying something that's false about someone. And so if you read something in a publication where they can get sued, you can, and it says something, you're like, well, shit, there's probably at least that much validity to it.
Weight. Yeah.
Someone was like, oh, we can't print this because it's, we're open to libel. Whereas now that world doesn't exist anymore, it's just like, X person's a pedophile, X person's a murderer, here's the conspiracy of this, or here's the truth about that. You can say anything. And it's like, oh yeah, you're supposed to, the fucking journalists are supposed to put the politicians in check. And then because people will vote for people when they understand the truth of things. And now that arm of our culture doesn't exist anymore, people can just say fucking whatever. And more so, the goddamn people who buy the politicians can now own the platforms, so they get to basically, and the politicians are the people that are supposed to keep the people that want to make infinity money in check. And so once you take the journalists out of there, then
no one keeping tabs.
Rich people can just buy the medium of production. And so I don't know. I had this, just punk attitude. It's like journos are bullocks, but whatever, forever.
But now we see, like, if we don't get somebody that's like,
In my defense, I think once that switched to infotainment and just like kind of chasing the dollar came in, it's like, well, this isn't news. You guys aren't reporting real things. I think maybe there was some validity in holding them accountable, but that whole infrastructure is toppled anyways. Regardless, I love stories about journalism are always awesome to me. Any movie, like this is very like All the King's Men. That's the big one, right? The big journos movie.
Ben Affleck in there?
No, that was like a 70s one, All the King's Men, if I'm not mistaken. About Nixon. The one about Nixon.
Yeah.
The one about Watergate. What's the Watergate one?
I think you're right.
Okay. Like that's the blueprint for all of those movies. And they're always good. Anyways.
I mean, now we have instead of like Letterman, now we have like Joe Rogan.
Right.
The podcasters are now the
that's where news is. And they can't, again, there's no lawsuits going to be. So they can say anything other than Alex Jones got popped. I guess
that guy.
There's some level you can get to where they'll come after you financially.
Yeah.
But then even still, you can make more money on the back end. They're trying to silence me.
I mean, we still got all gas, no brakes, I guess, right? That's the Gen Z's
I would love
answer.
That. Yeah, that's a fucking look at this guy's drunk and he's saying something stupid. Journalism.
What about this, man?
Man, that's like the one. Like I like it when the quote, what do they call it, the cancel culture, right? That exists anymore. Like when they would go after people I didn't like, anyways. I was like, hell yeah, get them.
That was a nice one.
But then that shit went backwards. So then they fucking got that dickhead still around. Anyways.
No one is like, I think we're living in I think we're saying this off camera, but like the Baudrillard.
Okay. Oh yeah, give them. You got some big words on this.
So I learned a few. I looked in the dictionary, guys. I learned a few words.
Give them a simulacrum.
There's a little simulacrum here. When the simulation is so deep that it infiltrates all parts of life, where you can't really understand what is real, and that's like. There's a difference between understanding like reality and perceiving non-reality, which would be like the stuff that you see on your phones. It's not happening directly to you, but you are feeling it because you're seeing it in your eyes. And that's a mode of control. It goes into like another Noam Chomsky kind of concept of like the people in power, they want to keep you in fear, and they use all these modes of control, which are like psychological warfare through phones and all types of media now. And like you're saying, the deep pockets are just getting deeper and deeper now with the different crypto coins and cryptocurrency, where it is getting scarily close to nullifying actual paper goods, because those aren't paper money is not even real money. It's just an agreement between the government and all this kind of stuff. So it can change very quickly. And again, it will tip power dynamics further to the people that are already in power, using the kind of like these postmodern ideas of people don't have a concept of the self anymore.
Right.
And it keeps like, so these fingers of these tendrils of evil are still just going into every which zone. They're figuring out how to keep us in slavery, in a sense, for them, not in the old sense. But yeah, look up techno slavery, guys. It's a fun concept to think about.
Well, and the more of reality you erode, the more you can sell reality as comfort, and that's, I think, the swing towards conservatism in general is based on this foundation of like, isn't all this new shit a little too weird? And you want to just be like, my brother in Christ, you made the new shit. Yeah. You made all of this wacky, non-fucking world we're living in. And so then they can sell you a very grounded, like, this is common sense. This is just basic shit, right? Which even that is just, again, a back door to help their friends make infinity money.
Fucking mega church vibes.
Whether they want to destroy at the cost of the environment, which leads to more disharmony, which leads to more manipulation. And it's a sort of Aurora Boris. This is a comic book podcast talking about this comic book here. This is a fun one. I think I just like the art style.
This one's pretty chill.
Yeah, it's like this artist chick who's kind of trying to get laid, I guess.
It's like a nightlife, sort of like Lisa Hannawalt-esque.
Sure, kind of thing. Very, very neurotic and horny, and it's a quality I like in my comics. Probably a little unrealistic, but that's the fun of it. It's fine. Again, I could probably read 100 pages of that.
Oh, well,
no problem. This is one I've actually read all the way through, and man, this is a great excerpt. This is, again, Simon Hanselman stuff is just made for this. Getting a fun gag across.
It's so
2 pages. Good. That's all they give my man here. Is 2 pages, but it's like that's all you need. If this connects to you, you will probably like the entirety of that comic. And I think it's he's one of the best doing it.
One of the best. This was insane to me when I first saw this. I didn't know that the Los Bros were continuing Love and Rockets again.
Yeah.
And when the value that I got from this was, holy shit, Jaime Hernandez is making more comics. I'm going to go buy some fucking Jaime Hernandez comics. I guess so. I guess it did motivate me to go and get these.
And yeah, this is just delightful. I mean, talk about something you would just go and pick up if you saw it. Yeah. Like, if this doesn't make you want to read more Jaime stuff, I don't know what to tell you. But of course, do you need this book to tell you that Los Bros are doing some banging shit? You should
still kind of
know that. But at the same time, are you not going to include one of their comics just because they're well known?
True.
And it, of course, is probably the best thing on the racks at any given point in time. So no doubt.
Best American comic. Probably that one.
Can't not include it. This one was kind of tedious to me.
I didn't really get this one.
I have no real feeling. Just
I don't know if I read that one.
Some
Some of these I just glossed over just because.
Yeah, I like the art style quite a bit, but didn't really do much to me. This is your shit.
This is
you want to know where we differ on comics?
Right here,
throw
probably.
this fucking nonsense on my lap, and I'm just like, okay.
So Jesse Jacobs definitely high on vibes, but just staying high.
Yeah.
This is if you are did you like Rocko's Modern Life?
Oh, sure.
When you were growing up.
So as a kid, I haven't watched it as an adult.
As a kid, this is like, to me, internet-ified. Okay. That kind of vibe.
Right.
And but it's like this kind of sardonic, like almost like satire tone.
Have you read the whole comic or just this?
I've read this whole comic.
Okay.
Yeah. Crawl Space is I don't know if you'll like it, but you will appreciate these kind of moments. There's I love the satire.
Visuals. They're like, I mean, it's obviously it looks really good, but it also I don't care. It's just like, okay, you're drawing.
It's just like
you're drawing trippy shit. I must have read some comic from this person because those teacups look burned into my brain.
This design too, I think Jesse Jacobs worked on some animation stuff.
Okay.
I'm not sure on what. Probably like Adventure Time or something, but maybe you have also seen these online. I think some of these were like made as memes.
Okay.
Some of these like figures and stuff. But this is definitely like shit he would post on Instagram, like just the sequence and shit like this.
Yeah, it is like impossible for me to connect to this kind of bullshit.
The web comics 2.0.
Yeah, I mean, a web comic can be fine, but just stuff that's a little too reliant on like the trippy visuals. I'm locked out because they're basically just like getting high and then coming back into the real world and reality sinking in. I don't know. I got that one did nothing for me. This is a whole lot of nonsense to me.
This was like
fine
comic journal.
Growing up, and this is of course I'm just thinking about like Phoebe Gloeckner eating this shit up because it's like I too had a childhood. I too remember things that happened that were a long time ago.
It's that feeling.
Yeah, it is that vibe. I too had artist parents.
It's kind of like that it's the memory, but it's like that feeling of it being. It's like it's in the past. It's super
memoir stuff.
Memoir, yeah, like it's ethereal. That's the word.
I guess I decided. I get it, but I don't care. This is another kind of I get it. Talk about just like. Yeah, guys talking about getting laid.
This is zine style.
Yeah, good. I love visually. I love the style, and he's like, whatever. He's talking about some chick that he liked. I don't care about that necessarily, but there's a part of me that it's not entirely. Woody Allen, the Woody Allen story will always get me. They're like, it was romantic, and I thought I was going to get laid, but then I didn't get laid. I'm still trying to get laid, but now I'm laid by a different person. I'll always like stories like that, in pretty much any medium. So if you're going to make a comic about lost love or whatever, I'll fucking read it. But I this style visually is like great to me, like this, I don't know, chaotic or something, frenetic. I like it, but
it has this like almost noisy, like bleached out kind of effect that feels like you're writing this at 4 a.m.
But I could still stand for a little bit more narrative.
This one I remember being kind of wild. Like it actually had some funny moments, but I don't.
Yeah, I got to romp, trim, and catch. I didn't know there's so many different titles that are all kind of. I don't know, anthologies of sort. Like this is proper, like 60s style underground comics. Wow. And of course, you have to think about the Dan Clowes story. I would be too intimidated to do any kind of art school stuff that's in this tone because it's like, Clowes wrote your whole fucking book in 6 pages, in 8 ball. Like it's been done. What are you doing, brother? Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, if you got time for gags and you got time for making fun of these kind of establishment people, like. Again, I can read it. I wouldn't say there's much in the way of substance there.
Would you have that? Almost seems like a story that you would probably have to be in art school at this specific time.
I mean, let's a random page here. Have you thought about what you're doing after graduation? He's like, well, I'm going to lose my job. He's like, well, have you? You should do something. Probably just work at a record store or something. He's like, well, you should shoot higher than that. Have you thought about grad school? I mean, that's a very funny, I think that's universal. If you know anything about like higher education, that's just like how that pyramid scheme works.
They just keep you in the system.
Yeah, you're useless in the world, so you just keep doing that. This one, I think I got nothing out of. Just seemed like, and I feel like I've read one of this guy's stories too. It kind of felt similar.
Is this the Palestine guy?
I think. Oh, yeah, the book. I remember that one being okay. So again, maybe it's just the excerpt being too long.
I do think there's something that, like, there are parts where it's like this. I just need I need the whole picture. I can't just get. So maybe like
this is just corny. Whatever they're trying to talk about how. How ISIS isn't that much of a threat. Look at how many more people die a year from X, Y, or Z than is killed by ISIS. But it's like, Yeah, and again, this is just you've read too many generic fucking Adrian Tomine Tumblr bullshit, and something like this crosses your path, and you're like, put that up. Yeah, it reminds me of Raymond Pettibon or something.
There
like,
you
yeah,
go.
sure, run it.
That hella gave me a Raymond Pettibon fetish a little bit.
Yeah, and no, Gary Panter. Yeah, I watched that Pee Wee documentary that's on HBO.
Yeah,
so good. Lots of Gary Panter stuff in there. I always like knew him from like flyers and whatnot, but I didn't know he had like this whole how deep his career went. And he's just a fascinating figure in the world of art. I guess this is again a comic I need to pick up. What's it called again? I got to keep an eye out for this one.
Songy of Paradise.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be not Paradise Lost, Paradise Regained, which is some like Temptation of Christ they did, but it's just like redneck guy is the Christ figure, and this dinosaur Satan is trying to, continually tempt him with all these riches. Again, give me the full story. That's not doing much for me.
Let's see. Oh, this one. Okay.
Looks great.
Yeah.
I would buy an album with this cover art on it.
Yeah.
I don't want to read your fucking comment.
But do we become how do we differentiate the so like earlier we were talking basically like commodity kind of comics.
Right.
Which are like I guess like your more classical, like maybe like you were saying the Image comics earlier. This doesn't fit in that space. I think it has more of like I would say an artistic voice, but this is also like Dadaist in a way.
It's kind of like the dark reflection of like the Rob Liefelds, where it's like Rob Liefeld just wanted to draw buff guys with big guns and huge splash pages, and so everything in between that is just gibberish. And this person just kind of wants to dig into whatever issues they're going through and kind of spill them out on the paper. I think the common thread between them in this horseshoe theory scenario would be indulgence, self-indulgence.
There you go.
So I think it's a different kind of self-indulgence. It's introspective and it's bleeding on the page, but it's also and it's also like both art styles are really cool to look at. But it's not good comics.
It doesn't make for a great story read through.
I'll go back to your golden ratio bit where it's like the art style is amazing. The colors are great. Conceptually it's put together well. Like the primary colors are the bluish blacks, the reds, the yellows. Obviously awesome to look at. It's fluff. There's nothing there.
It's like I agree.
Draw me a record cover. I'll buy that record.
I'll buy that. Yeah, for sure.
But
I agree.
Visual, but as far as comics go, I don't know if it's good comics. And I don't think you care if it's good comics, which is fine. You're not asking. You're in the fucking America's Best Comics. You made it. You're good comics.
You are now in that same space.
You don't need some fucking guy who's reading fucking Punisher comics to tell you if you're good or not. I like Frank Miller, for God's sake.
If we're going too harsh, it's only because I think we aren't getting the full read on these.
Well, I'm recognizing my tastes. What they are, and these are from someone else's perspective and in a different context. This is kind of more of the same, just visual. It's something about like a father, like
it's like a Adult Swim short kind of comics.
I don't know. In one eyeball, out the other. This is a fun. I like doing this, by the way. I really would be fun reading more of these because it's like we're reviewing like 100 comics in one.
It's fucking. And you do like this weird Archie.
I liked this one, and you could say, well, this is like surreal gibberish gobbledygook as much as the last one. But I mean, the black and whites, the heavy blacks, the heavy line work is like visually gets me. But there is kind of a story here about like this guy taking this girl out to go cruising.
Yeah,
and I think I don't know. It's like a deconstructed romance comic. Kind of works and sort of has this when this is where it comes together. You give me a gag in it, okay, we're buying. Buy fucking pickles, surfing, fucking. Great, I get it. I got it. I actually liked it.
Yeah.
Not even saying like I get it. It's not for me. I get it. It's for me. I like it. I would gladly read your comic.
This was
sure. Great. Good job.
That was so great.
Oh, I liked this. This is another one where it's like it's this mom and her mother-daughter relationship situation, but yeah, there's enough of a narrative here of her having a kind of a difficult time with her kid, I guess. And this is a great page. Oh yeah, she's talking about how the dog peed on the rug, and then she just tells her, like, well, I didn't want to wake her and embarrass her. So you're like understanding kids' emotions at a young age, and it's the mom's interpretation of it, and it's it's slice of life. It's cute. It's quaint. I like the art style. I mean,
it's pretty nice. Yeah.
Obviously, like stripped down, but like it matches the storytelling. Like
it gives off tone.
Yes. That's another one. I'm picking this one up off the shelf. No.
This one here?
Yeah, for sure. And again, maybe this is just kind of showing where my tastes are. This is like some Diary of a Wimpy Kid shit.
Yeah.
I don't care. It's fine.
I don't really remember this one either. I don't think I read the ones that I really didn't vibe with visually. I just was like, all right.
I don't even mean saying Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Maybe that's too harsh. Look, it's just this girl. She's talking about things she regrets doing. Oh, skink and pickle jump scare. Jesus Christ, warn me.
Wait, where? Doing crystal meth? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's some real shit right there, boys.
She's talking about things she regrets. She regrets cutting up her mom's 90s shirts. Like, yeah, you should regret that. That's
what
actually
the fuck?
Very accurate. Very accurate. Unfortunately, many such cases. Anywho.
Fuck.
Yeah. So, I mean, whatever. It's nice. It's
fun,
happens. But I don't care. Moving on.
What do we think of this one?
I feel like I've read some stories from them. It's good. It's a little morbid. It's definitely like has some more oomph to it than like Mackey's.
Yeah.
Remember those?
Yeah.
All speaking of Adult Swim shorts.
Wow.
Yeah, like they're stranded on this boat, and so he
okay, I remember
the bird
takes
the thread for them to go fishing, and then he cuts off a piece of himself, and this kind of keeps going where basically they're murdering each other in this really gruesome way to try to catch fish.
He gets so botched.
He has a dream about himself coming unraveled. It's dark and fun and cute, and I'm not mad at it. It's not too like hot topic-y or whatever as far as like dark cute goes. There's a line where you cross into like like Tim Burton-y kind of dark cute, or Johann Vasquez.
Oh, dude, with Vader Zim and stuff
like there's a line where it gets a little too much of that. I think this stays on the right side of it. I enjoyed it. Also, probably would rather read a whole story than a little excerpt like this.
Do you remember Duckman by chance?
Oh yeah,
remember Duckman?
This is very Duckman.
This
style.
gave me Duckman.
Yeah, for sure. That's the tone. That's the perfect tone, and that's a duck tone, non-derogatory. Zine derogatory. Duckman. Only respect.
Yeah, respect for the duck.
This was... The fuck was this one? Oh, yeah, this is like someone complaining about art shit. Whatever.
Another kind of like art culture.
Yeah, inside baseball kind of.
Yeah, which that didn't click with me back then. This kind of stuff was fun.
For sure.
But yeah, just...
Yeah, well, I got nothing from it, unfortunately.
Read Dan Pussy.
Nice art style.
It's fun.
Yes.
I like this stuff is pretty cool, and but I mean,
yeah, I got nothing for you.
Yeah,
this one I hate to really be rushing them since we're towards the end, but some of the shit was just I did not connect.
There's one more that I remember. I thought was in here.
Yeah, this is another zine derogatory.
This a lot of them do feel rough draft-esque.
This is good. This is great art. Visually, this is totally awesome. Got nothing bad to say about this, the looks of it, but is it good comics? I wouldn't say so. But
yeah. It's
when you look this cool, it's like, what are you gonna fucking be mad that Alan Moore isn't writing it. It's like, it's fine. We're good. And that's it.
Yeah.
We're done. All right. Look it. That was the best comics.
What'd you think?
From a respected artist in 2018. I enjoyed it. I'm tempted to get some more of these and read through them. Maybe if what can we say? If people want to see more of these.
Yeah. What editor should we pick?
I'll crack them open. It would be interesting to see editor to editor. I think it's a really good format. I love the idea of them.
Yeah.
I kind of understand why I've never checked them out before. I should maybe check them out in the future. I'm not mad at it, but it is definitely an interesting way to engage.
Yeah.
There's some pros, there's some cons, and again, I think I like the meta factor of you're learning about your own tastes, and I like that you're learning about the editor's tastes. And there's meat on them bones for sure. I can see myself diving into some more. Somewhere out there, someone is just buying one of these a year.
I think so.
And living their best life.
And they're just getting enough of the comic scene and
seeing what's out there, picking up the ones that really spoke to them. What a glorious way to go about things. I would say that's a phenomenal approach.
Yeah, and it's not exactly casual, but it is casual.
Yeah,
no, this is inside stuff.
Yes, this is a very, again, you're getting recs from some highbrow folks.
Yeah, and I'll show the back cover just to get some of that shine.
I guess, but without it being too pretentious, because comics aren't, people who really understand comics aren't going to give you some pretentious bullshit. Maybe it's the American factor too. I wonder if it was international, how different it would look. How much of it would be manga, how much of it would be, various Euros doing their thing.
I feel like there would be more variety in the stories because some of these stories did have a lot of the same type of protagonist. And
you get some sort of international flair in the sense that it's like people either telling their story as an immigrant or like from. In this American melting pot kind of way. It didn't strike me as like totally monolithic in the kind of stories that were being told by any means. But that said, I still would like to see what's South America's best comics looking like? What's Brazil's best comics looking like? It boggles the mind. What got going on over there?
So deep, and that would be a great way to expose yourself to like a lot of, I think, just different perspectives.
Yeah, being a monolinguist, you're held back in so many ways.
Crazy,
you mono or duo?
I got Spanish and English.
That's duo, baby.
But
I'm strictly mono. Ugly ass American over here. Disgusting. Anyways, signing off. You got anything else?
Yeah,
I had a good time. Thank you for giving the
this was a lot of fun, right?
It was a lot of fun. It was a good one. If you want to see more volumes, just let us know.
Boom.
We're happy to serve.
See us on the next one. You got your marching orders, right?
I don't know. We don't have a sign off yet.
We're working on it.
We're working on it.
All right, later.